How do you know when to change things up and do something different? We can get in that groove, that easy routine, and before we know it, we're not really stretching ourselves anymore. So I'm diving into that. Strap in, get ready for episode 223. Let's go.
The future of fitness.
How do you gain muscle mass?
Fitness is not complicated. It's simple when you break it down.
There's so much information out there.
No fads, no diets, just plain simple habits.
You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast.
Hey, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody, and I will be your host today. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. So glad to have you here. For my return listeners, thank you for coming back. It means the world to me that you continue to tune into this podcast weekly. All right, if you have not grabbed your free meal plan, please head on over to bonestobulk.com/free meal plan. You will be taken to a little splash page. You'll put in your email address and it's delivered right to your inbox. It's easy peasy. That's bonestobulk.com/free meal plan, and I will link that in the show notes. All right. Let's dive in. So, when you have been at fitness for a while, you kind of hit that stride, and that's a good thing. You get in your routine, you find what works for you, and you make a lot of progress, both in your food, with your weightlifting, with your, just daily structure of how you get it all in. And this is really important to hit this stride, but we can also fall into some pitfalls when we hit this stride because we start to get comfortable. And you know what I mean? Everything is really running smoothly. We get to that kind of maintenance level and we just kind of coast. We go in, we do our workouts, we get out, we eat clean for the most part, but we don't really push ourselves with our nutrition. And it's kind of just this complacent place we are at. Think of when you started your job. Typically, the first couple weeks to a month, you're really making sure you're doing everything right with your job and your work and everything's spot on. And then after, that first month, you kind of hit the stride, you feel comfortable with the work you're doing, but you stop pushing as hard. You know what I mean? Well, while it's not a bad thing to maintain sometimes, I think we also have to change things up once in a while in order to really push ourselves. Now, this doesn't have to be something just completely insane. Different things work for all people. So, maybe it's going to a fitness conference to get you fired up. Maybe it's taking part in some kind of competition like a Tough Mudder or a Spartan race or a weightlifting competition, something to push your training to another level. Or maybe it's just setting some personal goals. For instance, I'm going to hit, X amount of weight on bench press in 3 months, or I'm going to squat this much in 3 months, or I'm going to, shed 2% of body fat percentage over the next however many months. And by continuing to set up these goals, it continues to push us because, when we start off, we have that initial goal, right? Whether it's to lose weight, to gain muscle, to do both at the same time. We do it, we kind of hit our goal, and then what? Typically we just go into that maintenance mode. And like I said, maintenance is not a bad thing. It's a great place to be because that means you've come a long way. But we've got to throw things in there now and then that really spice things up. And again, like I said, this doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be something as simple as maybe, you're used to doing 3 sets of 12 to 15. Okay, cool. Well, maybe going on a cycle where you drop the amount of reps each week until you get down to like 3 to 5 reps. Do this over a 4-week period. So, go from 12 to 15 to 9 to 11 to 6 to 8 and then to 3 to 5 over the course of 4 weeks. Change up how much weight you're pushing each week to correspond with the lower amount of reps. Throw something like this in there to really change things up. Throw in a circuit week where you really go hard and you do something cardio related, like maybe box jumps or battle ropes or sled pushes or jumping on the treadmill or the elliptical and doing that for a couple minutes and then running over and doing a couple exercises, then going back and doing some cardio, then going back and doing some exercises and keeping that heart rate up, keeping yourself at a higher intensity level, because when you do that, you're pushing yourself more and you're going to feel it. You're going to notice it. You're going to be more winded. You're going to feel probably better after you leave the gym, just knowing that you pushed yourself through it. But some other things you can do to change it up is maybe add an extra set in. Maybe you're used to doing just the 3 sets. Add a 4th set in. And maybe drop the reps down a couple depending on how many you're overall doing. So let's say you typically do 3 sets of 10. Maybe do 4 sets of 8. you're dropping down a couple reps on each one, but you're still getting more reps in overall. Because when you get to that mode where you've kind of reached your goal, you got to remember it's the small things that make a difference, and it's going to take time. Like, usually in any, whether you're strength training, trying to gain muscle, whether you're trying to lose weight, you see a big switch in the first couple weeks. Your body loses usually the most amount of weight right off the bat, or you put on a lot of muscle right off the bat and your strength goes up quite a bit. And then it starts to taper off because your body's becoming accustomed to that. It's getting used to what you're putting it through. It's getting used to the new, the new you, literally. And so things slow down after that. Well, once you hit your goal, they slow down even more. And you really have to be conscious of, okay, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. I'm in this for the long haul. And maybe now that I've hit, my first goal, maybe to hit these more micro goals, it's going to take me another year to hit them. And that's okay. But to keep pushing towards that, to keep grinding towards that, because ultimately we don't want to stay stuck. We don't want to stay just in that same, just stagnant place. Stagnant water turns really gross. And I don't think any of us should stay stagnant for any reason, whether it's physical fitness, whether it's mentality. Like, we should always be learning more, going after more things, doing new things that stretch us, that get us outside of our comfort zone, because that's where we truly learn and grow. With your food, again, small changes are going to add up. So maybe getting a better grasp on your macros. So maybe really dialing it in and really maybe increasing your protein a little bit, dialing back the fat content a little bit, trying to clean up those last few things that are just, not the best. You probably know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what popped in your head when I said that. Maybe you have a cheat meal twice a week. Maybe cut that down to once a week. Maybe you have a couple drinks, throughout the week. Maybe cut that down to just once. These small changes are going to add up. It's not like it's got to be this complete change of your diet and nutrition, because at this point you've probably got it pretty under control. But these small micro changes are what is going to kind of take you to the next level. You really want to focus on the micro. You really do. Don't ever underestimate, one small change. One small change can add up to a lot over a long haul. Whether it's just cutting out another 100 calories to get your body fat percentage down. That 100 calories may not seem like much, but when you add it up over a year's time, quite a bit of calories and, quite a bit of pounds too. So you can't, overlook the small things. That's ultimately what I'm trying to say, is figure out a small tweak, a small thing to push yourself, to get yourself out of that comfort zone. Because I'm guilty of this too. I get in that stride and I'm happy with where I'm at, and I tend not to push myself. And I think we all need that push once in a while. I'm not saying all the time, every day you have to just go and push. But there are times, I think, when we just need to kind of shake things up and be like, you know what? Now, I've kind of been cruising for a while. I think I need to throw in a month of just really going after it. Because we never really know what levels we can take our body to until we try. Like, our bodies are capable of way more than we think they are. It's the mindset that really just holds us back and keeps us stuck. So I hope this encourages you to try some new things, get out there, push yourself this week, because you're worth it. Ultimately, you really are. All right, if you found this helpful, please find me on social media. I am at Bones to Bulk anywhere. Pinterest, TikTok. We have a great Facebook group, Instagram. Connect with me. Shoot me a message. I would love to hear from you. And remember that no matter what things are holding you back, if you feel that you're just in that endless cycle of repetitiveness, you can break out. You can push yourself more. You've got this.